This week, the World Health Organization released a report that Europe is getting fatter, and the people responsible are not necessarily the fat ones. Welcome. You're watching Basic Hale News Commentary. Before we get into the mind of the World Health Organization to see how they managed to shift the blame for being fat from the fat people to all of us, here are some facts about fat Europe. 3 out of every 5 persons that you know are either slightly fat or very fat. More than 1 million people will die this year because they are fat. More than 200,000 people will develop cancer this year because they are fat. I once thought that if the food was not forced into your mouth and that you have the freedom to choose when you eat, what you eat, and how much food you eat, if you get fat, the fat is on you. It turns out I was wrong. At least that is what the World Health Organization seemed to think. Choosing what you eat, when you eat, and how much you eat have never really been your choice. The World Health Organization thinks that society makes those choices for you. This thought is based on these 3 reasons. Food culture is determined by food companies. Culture is our way of life, ergo, food culture is our way of life regarding food. The big food companies are in your face all the time with their advertisement. You're more likely to see an ad for McDonald's and Pepsi than you are likely to see an ad for broccoli. The food companies influence laws. There has been a lot of talk on increasing tax for sugary foods, but no action yet, because the food industry don't want this law. The second reason for the shift in blame is that the majority of fat people are poor or very low-income people. This makes sense because the type of food that are likely to make you fat are cheaper and more available than healthy food. And low-income people have more bills to worry about and no time or money for gym membership or exercise. The third reason is that science and technology are the bane of our fat lives. We travel in cars for distances that our great-grandparents would have walked. We do less physical work because technology does our physical work for us. The simple math of body fat has 2 primary components. What you eat should be just enough to do the work that your body does. Instead, we are eating more and doing less physical work. Basic Hale agrees with all these reasons. The food culture is undeniable. Poverty and inequality seem to be here to stay, and the balance between what we eat and how much physical work we do are determined not by individuals, but by society at large. The trouble is, wherever the richest people in society go, everyone else tends to follow. These 3 problems that are making us fat are wicked, impossible problems because the food industry belongs to the rich minority. They will continue to determine the type of food available to the masses. Although the poverty gap is reducing, we are not likely to see a perfect world of equity of wealth distribution anytime soon. For many generations to come, we will continue to have poor people at the bottom of the social ladder in many regions of the world. Lastly, science and technology will continue to advance, and our lives will get even easier with more sophisticated robots to do our jobs, while energy-dense and unhealthy foods will continue to dominate the food market. According to the World Health Organization, we live in an obesogenic world, and it needs to change. But there are rich and powerful people with vested interest in keeping our world obesogenic. Basic Hale would not like to stigmatize fat people, but we firmly believe that if you do not want to be fat, you cannot wait for a law that will change the food industry. Neither can you wait for a time when technology will suddenly cease to exist and we all do back-breaking physical work. This will not happen. If you do not want to be fat, it is your responsibility to yourself. You need to do something about it. Eating healthy and exercising well are your only solutions. Educate yourself about them.